Hey guys, it's Nick back for another video, and we got a very special episode of the show today because not only do we have one of the early adopters of Seth's course, but in this episode we got the man himself. So Seth and Skye, welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
All right. So Skye, just in case people haven't seen your channel before, just give us a little overview of your background, how you got it, how you found the course, and what you're doing now.
Yeah. So at the time, I had just graduated high school, and I unfortunately started getting chronic migraines. So I needed to find a way to make money online because at the time I was still stuck in bed every day with a migraine that was killing my soul. But yeah, I can gladly say that I found Seth's course and I started learning and I started doing digital marketing. And it was an amazing experience because it truly opened my eyes to the potential of how much work you can do online. And, you know, if you're stuck in bed or if you have some kind of medical condition, like, you can still work from home. So with that in mind, I started doing the course. And then, like Seth says, I built a website. It was not easy to do, but I did it. You know, I watched a ton of YouTube videos. I watched the course. And then I started getting my own clients. And then from there, I started wanting to work at an agency just to be around like-minded people like me. So I started applying places all over the country because I was worried I wasn't going to find a job in my area, but thankfully I did. I worked there for a year and a half, went from being the youngest person at the company to being one of the top digital marketing people there. And recently I just quit because I was outgrowing the company and wanted to go back on my own. So now I am having my own clients again. And here we are.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so great. Were you were doing PPC at the agency?
Yeah, I was doing a lot of PPC generally for State Farm agents, and then also just a bunch of random like dentists, urgent care, pest control, just a bunch of clients. So
how much monthly ad spend were you managing?
A lot. Like I had roughly I managed over 300 to 400 clients on my own. So yeah, it was a lot of money. Wow. But yeah, I mean, your course taught me a lot, and it's crazy to even be talking to you right now because I can, you know, gladly say that you changed my life. So yeah, but I mean, when I hear people, you know, doubting themselves or, you know, asking about the course, I'm just like, take it. Like, you know, it's $100 and, you know, it changed my life. And I had like, you know, almost no money. And yeah, but something inside me was just like, take this, like, you know, you need to do something. So I was like, I'll go for it. And I just kept running with it. And everyone around me was like, you need to go back to school, or you need to do this. And I was like, no, like, I really just want to give this my all. And yeah, it's been an amazing experience. It's crazy that I'm even here now, but yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah. Seemed like you've done quite a bit in like the 2 years or so since you've taken.
Yeah, no, it's crazy it was just like my 2-year anniversary of when I started in February 2017, and I'm like, holy crap, like when I took this course, I was like, this is where I wanted to be now. I mean, even just working at an agency and being able to talk to you guys and have my own clients and feel confident enough to even do that on my own is just at 21 years old. It's been an amazing experience. And I mean, if I can do it, and I can do it when I was having migraines and, you know, like truly suffering a little bit, like anyone can do it.
That's amazing. How many clients do you have now?
I have about 5 clients, but they're very high touch. I'm making more than I was even at the agency. And yeah, wow. When you get to a point where you're like outgrowing a certain mission, I mean, I'm always going to stay in digital marketing now, but you know, I just wanted to have my own clients again.
And
that's awesome.
And I think the $1 million question, because you've had some clients, you work for an agency, now you got your clients again. I'm sure the $1 million question is, how in the hell are you doing all this without a college degree? Because we all know that is the way you go in life. This guy here, Seth, he scammed us all.
Yeah.
But on a more serious note, it's like you've had kind of the best of both. Like, you know, right now I've only done freelance work, and that's the only real perspective I have. And so I didn't really have a choice just because of the nature of my circumstances. But you've done both. So in your opinion, when is someone ready to go off on their own and have their own clients versus just should work at the agency and iron out their skills? Like, where do you think that threshold is?
Well, I personally joined an agency that, they were probably at the peak when I joined them, and they were kind of at a descending level from there. So I witnessed a lot, and I saw how it affected my coworkers and my managers. And yeah, I mean, I was in on meetings for like new products and, new everything. And, it got to a point where I was like, why can't I just do this for myself? Like, why can't I work on this on my own? Like, if I wanted to make all these changes, like, I can do this on my own and actually be able to decide how to make those changes myself and actually have them achieved, instead of telling everyone above me, this is what we need to do to get to a certain level at this company, and no one's listening to us. So that was kind of like it's crazy, because I actually left the company a day before they were deciding to tell people that they were going to get let go. So just this inkling inside me was just like, you need to quit this job because it's, killing your mental spirit. And yeah.
But before that, it was a good job, right?
Oh yeah, no, it was amazing. I wouldn't be here now without that job. So yeah.
Let me ask you this, guy, just because I don't mean to cut you off, but I have to run in a minute.
No,
but you were freelancing right off the bat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Nick, you could talk to her maybe about the difference between freelancing then versus now. But unfortunately, I got to run. I got some food in the oven. But it was great to meet you, Skye. Nick, show me when the interview's done, and I'll talk to you, Skye, directly. Maybe I can interview you as well.
Yeah, that would be great.
No problem, Seth. But thanks again for being on the show.
No problem, guys. See ya. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.
All right.
Oh,
Well, that was fun. We got to meet our mentor, Skye.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I'm like, it's crazy to look at him and be like, oh my God, like, you've done a lot for my life. Like,
like we owe like our financial view. We owe a lot to him.
Yeah, I owe a lot of my mindset, my financial being right now, and yeah, I owe a lot to Seth. So yeah, an interview is the least I can do.
Yeah. So let's see here. I had a list of questions. So while we're on the topic of an agency, and just a quick disclaimer for you guys watching at home, we're not saying you shouldn't be working at an agency. An agency is definitely a good place to learn your skills and kind of sharpen your skills. It's just, it doesn't always work out. It's like a business. Like, people see the fact that most businesses end up failing and get discouraged. But the way I look at it is it's like relationships too, dating. The vast majority of relationships fail, but it's still worth doing.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm sorry, I probably sounded very negative saying that. But yeah, like he said, it was a relationship. I wouldn't be where I am now without going through that process. And yeah, no, I feel like working at an agency is vital, just because you learn so much about working with other people and also growing your skills as a digital marketer. So yeah.
And while we're on the topic of agencies and other digital marketers, one kind of vibe that a lot of the other people I've interviewed have kind of pointed out, and what we've all kind of noticed, is that when it comes to digital marketing, not only do a lot of people or outside of the industry not understand what we're doing, but there's a lot of people who like have been in the industry for longer than Seth has, who don't even know what they're doing. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's like any job where people learn a certain amount and then they stop learning. But with digital marketing, it's crucial that you keep learning, because things are always changing. Google's always updating stuff. Facebook's always updating stuff. Your niche or network is always updating stuff. So it's crucial to stay ahead of the times and always stay current.
So, and obviously don't go into specifics, but would you say that there are a decent amount of people at your agency or places or digital markets you've interacted with that really don't know what they're doing, where you're just like, what? How did this person
even get here in the first place?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I've kind of noticed that without like a course like Seth's or even Billie Jean's, like a lot of the people who stumble into agencies just either stumbled into it because they happened to know someone who was there, or they somehow came in right out of college and had to get pretty much built from the ground up.
Yeah.
So cool thing is that because we have a high income skill, we're way better off financially speaking than most 20-year-olds. But what do your parents think of what you've been doing digital marketing wise, or at least while you were going into the course? Were they really supportive, or they were kind of, they didn't expect too much out of it?
Yeah, I mean, at first my parents were like, yeah, why are you doing this? Like, shouldn't you be focusing on going to school or getting a job? And I was focused on getting a job, but I was still, like on bed rest, half on, half off. So I was like, I can't have a full-time job because I cannot get up without my head like throbbing. But yeah, no one was very like unsupportive of me, but no one was like supporting me. It was kind of just me having to constantly encourage myself, be on the forum or be on LinkedIn and see other people. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty common thread with all of our digital marketing jobs, because I was talking with Drayshawn when I was in New York, and almost all of his non-digital marketing friends, like Drayshawn's an SEO guy, right? They all think he's like an IT guy or something like that. Yeah. I'm just like, that's not what they're doing at all. But he just got,
you work on a computer, like you must be. I'm like, no, but it's like, it's not people's job to fully understand our jobs. It's just acknowledging it and making, just being like, hey, do your thing. And yeah,
I don't know, like I gotta give credit to Dre, because like I guess he tries to explain it, but for me I'd just be like, yes, I am an IT guy, have you tried turning it off and on again?
Yeah.
So,
that's about all I can suggest IT wise too.
Let's see. So you notice that it's really nice to talk to like-minded people, but there are very few like us. Do you ever experience this thing I call success isolation, where just because like you're doing, like you don't have the same problems as your friends, like your old friends can't really relate to you?
Yeah. I mean, I would say it's funny that you have a word to this, because I haven't actually had a word for this situation until just now. But yeah, I mean, I've experienced that firsthand pretty much since I started working at an agency. It was, I mean, a lot of my friends are like baristas or like they're in college. So it's weird because like I'm like that one-off person that's just like, doing her thing, and like everyone's in school or like, making coffee or whatever. But yeah, no, it's a very weird feeling, but it's also very empowering because like everyone's doing their thing, everyone has their hustle, and you can still have your hustle and be alone in it and still feel okay. As long as you feel okay and having that hustle that's different than everyone else, then you're golden.
Yeah. It is still nice to have friends. I mean, the skills that Seth teaches us definitely are important. They are worth the price of the course. But in my personal opinion, I think where most of the course's value comes is the forums. And there's a little thread where we all connect on LinkedIn. That's how I made like the vast majority of the friends I have now. Because I mean, what I realized the other day is right now I only talk to one friend from my high school pre-digital marketing days, and that's it. Everyone else that I like seriously talk to on a regular basis is just people I met through the course. That's the whole reason I ended up going to New York, just so I could meet them in person. But
yeah, no, I mean, I haven't been that active in meeting other digital marketing people. I met someone recently in the last couple of months, and it really sparked my interest in, creating a new space for myself and creating new friends like you did, like where you're only talking to people that you relate to digital marketing wise, because I think it's very important to talk to people that are like you, because you won't feel alone and you won't feel like a crazy person. You'll just be like, we'll talk about SCM and PPC for hours and it's totally normal. And yeah, so I would say I haven't been in that, been doing like this for you, like as long as you have. But no, I think it's very crucial now as I'm, freelancing more and moving and, growing as a person. I think it's very crucial to talk to people that are like you, so you don't feel isolated.
Though the interesting thing though is what I've kind of been thinking about is like, yeah, freelancing and not even in digital marketing, working remotely in general is kind of isolating because a lot of other people have the 9-to-5 jobs. What I've come to realize though is that, yeah, it does create a problem in that you can be a little bit isolated because there aren't a lot of people you can talk to about this, but the problem solves itself. Like, I felt kind of sad. I felt really stupid for whining about it when I realized it. Because, I mean, think about it. What's the problem? The problem is, oh, I have all this time and a decent amount of money, but all my friends are in other parts of the country or outside of the country. But then the solution, I realized, is just staring me right in the face. It's like, oh, why don't I take some of the time and use that money to go to those places and visit my friends?
No, I did that. I went to LA and visited some people like me a couple weeks ago, and no, I can contest that as well. Just because, you know, when you get to a point where, you know, you're doing the job you love and you're making, you know, the money that you wanted to have, and, you know, it's hard because then you start looking around and you're like, no one's like me, and like no one's freelancing like me, and no one's, you know, on this journey like me, and so you will feel isolated. But, you know, like you said, you can get on a plane, because you can do that. You can leave because, you know, hopefully one day you'll be your own boss, and, you know, you can just get on a plane and go see people that are like you. And it's really good to collab with people like you and feed off your guys' ideas and hear your stories. I mean, that's why we're here right now. So, yeah.
Perfect. And so we've already kind of been talking about what you've been doing. Where do you see yourself going next, as far as milestones or just things you want to do now?
Yeah, so for about the last 6 to 9 months, I've been very focused on e-commerce, because I love selling stuff online. And, you know, with our skill, it is great because you can go into so many great avenues. And e-commerce is great because we can already market those products. You already know what platforms to sell them on. You just have to start learning how to sell them, what products to sell. So this year, my goal is to build a 6-figure e-com business or multiple stores. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been focused on. That's why I was in LA. You know, as once you get to this level of, you know, having your own clients and, you know, having money, the great thing about investing into courses or mentorships is that you can do it all over again and you can keep growing. So yeah, I definitely got to that threshold where I was like, yeah, I'm working at an agency. Like, what's next? Like, where's your next goal? And I was like, I have no idea. But I stumbled upon e-commerce and I just fell in love with it. So I would highly recommend it to anyone, because you can, you know, you don't have to deal with clients or, you know, big spender people. You can focus on selling, you know, like low to high ticket products. And, you know, we already know how to sell stuff online. So it's an amazing thing, because once you already know how to be like a digital marketer, you know, you're like halfway there on learning e-commerce, but there's a lot of other stuff you still have to learn.
Right. And do you have any sort of final tips for anyone who's going through the course now?
Yeah. Stay confident, stay strong, keep going. Learn how to build a website. I'm sorry, I'm like shouting this out because I really love it. But everyone that builds a website on WordPress, please use Divi, because you can do custom websites. It's amazing. It's like really low cost for a year subscription. So please just use Divi. It will save you a lot of time. You can build websites for people. It's amazing. You know, it's an amazing theme to have on WordPress. So I'm just shouting that out. It will save you a bunch of time. Yeah, just learn everything you can. The course that Seth recommended, Isaac, what's his face? Remember the one on Udemy? That is amazing.
Yeah, Isaac.
Like, yeah, for $10, like you'll get advanced learning on AdWords, which is crucial, especially if you want to work at an agency. You need to learn that. I actually use that course whenever someone at my agency wanted to start learning about AdWords. I would send them that course, and I'd be like, you're going to start watching these videos, and then I will talk to you from there, because it is amazing. What Seth does is open your eyes into this entire field and teaches you PPC. And then Isaac and other mentors that you will have will teach you other stuff. But yeah, have more mentors, talk to other people like you. You know, you can do it. Follow people that are like you. Look at other websites, look at other agencies' websites, look at their social media. Just open your eyes, watch videos as much as you can, go to many vlogs, read books, read Perry Marshall's book. Love his book. I love Perry Marshall as well. Just, you know, open your eyes to this field as much as possible, because the options are literally limitless, and you will find your way, and you will find, you know, your avenue that will work best for you.
Well, there you go, guys. And another thing I'll add in is, for God's sake, use the forum. There's a whole thread in the forum called Let's Connect on LinkedIn. You got my details in there. I think you have Scott. Are you in the forum?
Yeah, I'm probably
Did you
really up there, but I left my LinkedIn. So anyone that wants to add me on LinkedIn, you can. You'll see it on the forum, and I can have it attached to the video as well.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description. But yeah, use the forum. You got my details in there. You got Skye's. There's Billy Bravo in there. You know, just shoot us an email on LinkedIn. Just remember to say that you're from Seth's course.
Yes, of course.
We're probably more likely to add you if you just say we're from Seth's course. But you know, don't be afraid to. All right, Skye, thank you so much for your time and being on the show. If any of you guys want to watch more videos with Skye and get a little more detail on her journey and just how she approaches this whole digital marketing thing, I'll leave a link to her YouTube channel as well. Yeah. And go ahead and check out her videos. She's got a lot of great stuff on there. But thanks for watching the show, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thanks.